We are back. We are finally back, and it looks like we should be good now. I think I'm in. I'll just wait a little bit, and just in case it lags again out, and then I can join back into the BC with combo. I think it's working now, so I should be able to join back with combo. There we go. There we go. We're back.
Got it back up and running?
Yeah, so nothing really has, actually quite a bit has changed actually since I left. Driver has pitted and on to some fresh medium, so he's gone for the 2-stop. He's looking to make the time back up that he's lost, but he doesn't have much longer to do it. This top 3 is the exact same. Reaper has got past Maddie, but Maddie's still in DRS. Other than that, anything else that was notable while I was gone?
War Machine pitting onto soft tires. Let's see. Driver, yes, as you said, pitted onto new mediums. Donut Gorilla and Chevy have switched positions, and War Machine and Jay Wizzle both now on 9-second penalties, along with Maney now pitting for new tires.
Okay, so I think Maney's in the pits. He's gone for softs, and he will go to the end of this race, but it's Frosty still comfortably leading from Evil Blade and Edge behind him, with Maddie just falling out of DRS range of Reaper, so unless he can get back into it.
Good's funny. Don't you agree? Good's very funny.
Someone will save this. Come on. Yeah. Unlucky, guys. You're gonna have to deal with it. Oh my goodness me! As Frosty has Evil Blaze ran straight into the back of Frosty, and he's got front wing damage. And unfortunately for him, that might be race win potentially ruining for Evil Blade. As I didn't see what happened, but he's just. Driver just hit a magic bump and got thrown into the wall. Are we serious? That is unfortunate.
That's what happened.
Oh my god, it's happened just before. He's got wing damage. So Driver, who pitted for the mediums, he gained so much time on dark. And he's now got wing damage. So that is absolutely gut-wrenching for Driver. He has been so unlucky there. And now Evil Blade as well with wing damage. His chance for the win are probably gone. Chances for the win are gone. So it's down to Frosty and Edge to see who can come through and win this race. We have 8 laps to go.
Dante would like pens.
Yep. 3 seconds for Donut Gorilla, Chevy, Hunter, and Driver. Then we have 6 seconds for Frizy, as Frizy's going to look for it on War Machine. War Machine will have the inside line into Laycom, as Frizy gets a bit pushed off there. A bit of contact before the entry to Laycom. But they're on 9-6 seconds. Mick getting past the other Ferrari of Jay Wizzle. 9 seconds for Jay Wizzle, 6 seconds for Goffey, and 3 for Maney. As Hench was able to finally pit onto mediums, and he was able to clear that 10-second penalty.
Alright, so I'm gonna be a little bit honest. Looking at the ERS management, I think Frosty would have been able to stay ahead of Evil Blade towards the end, because every time they go onto the main straight, coming then into the Eau Rouge straight, the Eau Rouge into Radion, Evil Blade would always have less ERS than Frosty. Frosty would always have that nice, simple management of ERS. But then looking at Frosty to Edge, they're both around equal.
Yeah, as Frosty burnt so much battery down that straight. I was just watching it. Donut Gorilla gets past Maddie for 5th, but they save so much battery going on to before the Camel straight and out of turn 1, and then he just burns everything. Frosty does well to go non-ERS through here, while Edge is not in non-ERS. He is on medium. So as you can see, they pretty much had the same coming into Lake Holm, but now Frosty's gained so much more battery busts, keeping the same gap because of the dirty air. Edge not being able to keep closer. So being in the lead of this race is a massive helping hand for the Williams as he's now back on 100%.
Yep. Edge only on 44%. Evil Blade is now on reduced harvesting, 50. I think Evil Blade... I feel like Evil Blade gets 30th. I don't think Reaper will catch up on time to get P3. Reaper will get 30th. That much I think I can assure you.
Yeah, so Reaper's closing in. However, there's not too long to go in the race. We'll have 7 laps to go. But it could be close depending on how bad that wing damage really is for Evil Blade, as Reaper has closed in quite a bit of time. But Donut Gorilla, he's also almost the DRS range of Reaper. He's burning a lot of battery to get into it. But yeah, it's getting close as Hunter gets the move done on Chevy Wolves. And he's now up to 7th place. Been a good drive from Hunter, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I would also say that the comeback has gone even further for Reaper now, as he's in P4 with the possibility that he could get to P3.
Yeah, that is correct, Kahoot. And Two-Door to answer the question, Evil Blade did run up the back of Frosty into turn 1. I don't know if it was an early break, but I feel like you could argue that you need to watch the car in front of you, so it might not even be a penalty, might not be a steward report coming his way, but who knows. Same thing again with the battery, Frosty and Edge at the same. However, soon I will be turning this telemetry off, just in case, so make the most of it while you can if you're any TPs or engineers are watching.
Oh, the War Machine just carries too much speed off the long straight of DRS. He overtook Frizy, but then he carried too much speed and broke too late, and had to avoid getting a corner cut penalty.
I will show you, Kahoot. Most of the field have done 2 stops with ours because there was an early safety car, but also 1 stop is probably the play as well. 1 stop could be possible, medium, hard, medium, as Frosty and all the way down to Chevy have done a 1 stop and a couple others down there. But now will Edge have a go? No, he will not. He sits behind. But once again, Frosty doing well with his battery management, being able to stay ahead and burn more battery. 2 or 3, they said the car has a 99.9% chance of coming out. Yeah, probably. Most likely. But yeah, it is 100% a... let's get up. Oh, we'll keep the tires up actually. And we'll turn telemetry off at the end of this lap, I think. So, anything else happening? Not really. Maddie has fallen back a lot of time from the back of Donut Gorilla, who is now within 4/10 of Easy Reaper, but with the penalties, it's only 3 seconds, so he needs to get past Reaper now and try to build up a gap if he wants to get 4th place here, as Blade's probably just praying that this race can end soon, because the gap's coming down between him and Reaper. But at this point in time, I think Bladey will hold on for the final place on the podium, as it looks like Edge has managed his battery a lot better this lap, as him and Frosty are around very similar battery. However, again, Frosty being able to use that non-ERS compared to Edge's medium, it's going to pay off more for Frosty, as he'll be able to burn a lot more battery down this next straight, as, like I said, lap 40, we will be turning telemetry off.
Donut Gorilla now within DRS of Reaper. Even though Donut Gorilla has a penalty, this will help him get closer and maybe even further away from Manic Skills behind, as well as Reaper's now 6.6 seconds behind Blade, with only 4, I would technically say 5 laps to go, because there's obviously then the final lap, but in this case, it is 4 laps to go.
as Donut Gorilla gets the job done on Reaper. He goes around the outside, and he's now up to 4th, and Hunter getting the move done on Chevy Wilson. Now, can Donut Gorilla pull out a 3-second gap? If he can do that, he'll be a lot closer to Blady, but is it possible? The gap, he's building the gap. He's got those fresher tyres compared to Reaper, so I reckon it's possible for him to pull out a gap, and Edge is very close to the back of Frosty, but can he manage his battery well enough and also get close enough? But he just hasn't been able to. It's been the exact same thing for so many laps, where Frosty's just saving his battery throughout the lap, and he's able to burn all of it down the Camel Straight in the exit of turn 1, whereas Edge hasn't been managing his battery as well as the Williams driver. And it looks like Frosty has the upper hand in this battle for the win here. But we'll see what happens. Still 4 laps to go.
Reaper almost losing DRS to Donut Gorilla. Donut Gorilla tried his best to push him out of DRS, to which actually I think he has. He's gonna fight close, easy busy, another 3-second penalty. Driver and Duck Puncher going at it. Side by side. Will they stay side by side? No. Duck Puncher falling behind Driver to get the DRS as they go through a Rouge. Radion does, yep. Duck Puncher does get DRS as Hunter now overtakes Matt. So Hunter up to P6 as he chases down Reaper.
Yeah, so Donut Gorilla did get out of DRS of Reaper, so he'll now march on up the road to try and pull out that 3-second gap. He still needs about 1.5 seconds to cement his 4th place, and if he can do that, he will be within or close to within DRS range of Evil Blade. So by the end of this race, we could see a possible battle between Donut and Blady for the podium. As what is happening down between War Machine and Frizy? This is a battle for the ages between these two. They've been out for a few laps as Frizy's just put War Machine in the wall, and that is a safety car. And that is an intentional takeout, I think. That is not what you love to see at all. I don't know what happened there. I think that might have been an intentional takeout. I don't know. But we've got that on stream, and Frizy, I don't think he's happy whatsoever. He is...
2 penalties at once. First getting a 10 sec with severe collision, and now a drive-through penalty.
Now, because of that, this changes things big time, as Evil Blade has come into the pits. That's 2 speeding in the pits for Frizy. As Evil Blade's come into the pits onto the softs. A bunch of people stay out. Chevy stays out. So Evil Blade's coming. He's the only one who's pitted for fresh tyres from that top group. So it's now... he's got to get through a lot of cars. This could basically be Donut Gorilla, who has a chance because he's the freshest tyres, but at the same time, he's got a penalty. Same with Hunter.
At this point, if you think about it, Blade will... wait, hold up. First of all, has Blade... Yep, Blade has repaired his wing, so he will be flying. Frizy retires from the session. He would be super pissed with that.
Yeah, that's going to be a big penalty coming his way. That could even be a possible race ban, but we won't discuss it here. That will be up to the stewards if we see a ticket later on as War Machine's coming to the pits. But yeah, why would you pit? That's the thing. You're going to be a lot faster, but that's a lot of positions to gain. Evil Blade is in the best possible position, but we're only going to have 2 laps of racing because the safety car is going to have to come in this lap. So
yeah,
it will be in this lap. I wouldn't be surprised, because we need at least 2 laps of racing. Most of these guys are not going to catch the field. It will most likely be down to Duck Puncher will catch, and that will be it. Maybe the McLaren, I'm not sure, but yeah, that's I'm quite shocked by that, but a lot of these people have bottled it, but Blade did have damage, so he had to pit probably, otherwise he was going to be vulnerable to so many cars on this restart. He's made the right call, but safety car restart, it's going to be very exciting combo.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. Also, going back to what may have been an intentional takeout, War Machine did a late dive bomb on Frizy coming into that chicane. Tried to do a Ricardo. Locked up. No damage. A little bit of contact was made, but no damage was made. And then Frizy got a 3-second penalty for cutting the corner, trying to avoid War Machine.
Okay, so also with these penalties that people have, Evil Blade has a good shout to gain some good positions, but we're going to go racing here. Frosty will lead us away. It's 2 laps to decide this Belgian Grand Prix, 100% for Tier 4, which will set the grid for Tier 3. We are underway as someone's gone into the wall there on the exit of the bus stop chicane. As there's contact between Donut Gorilla and Edge. Edge goes spinning round, and that is going to cost some time massively. Frosty will run away now, but it is Edge second, Donut Gorilla third. Reaper has a shot at a podium here. He's looking on the back of the Haas. No DRS this lap. We'll get it on the last lap of this race. It's going to be Hunter as all. There's all these cars close together. Evil Blade's going to be one to watch. We're going side by side between Driver and Izzy Fizzy on the run down to Lakecom. Driver around the outside. He gets the move done. There's also Hunter and the Sauber of Evil Blade. Evil Blade gets the job done on the inside, and he's now up to 5th. He's going to be on an absolute charge on the softs. There's Driver down the inside on Hunter as well. Driver absolutely flying. If he didn't have this penalty, he'd be in the absolute sweet spot right now. Brilliant move from Blade, brilliant move from Driver. This race is kicking off with just over a lap and a half to go.
It's just so much action going on, and there's gonna be continuous action as Driver now overtakes Reaper, and Blade also now goes up to P4. Evil Blade could potentially return to the podium and even maybe get higher.
All right, so
Driver looks behind.
Yeah, about to go on to the last lap here. Bladey needs to get the job done on Donut Gorilla. Driver could have a shout of a good result here too. Driver's going to try to attack Bladey. He's going to have the outside of Blanchard on. Evil Blade will have the inside line. They're side by side on the run down to bust up, and Driver gets the move done. He has a penalty. This is costing Bladey, but Bladey on the outside. There's contact between the two, and Bladey has to go off, and that's unfortunate for him. But Driver is now up into the podium positions, but this is costing him. So it looks like Reaper has a shot at the podium, but we're on the last lap now. Can Edge get past Frosty? He's touching him on the back of that car, going down towards the Camel Straight.
Oh, something's happened to Duck Puncher.
Yeah, Duck Puncher falling places as we will have DRS. So is this the chance that Edge has? He needs to have his battery saved. This is one of the last opportunities he has. Also on the run down to Blanchard in the final chicane. But it looks like it's going to be Frosty at this point in time who will have the advantage in this race. Driver, he's looking very, very close. I know he has the penalty, but he's going to want to try to at least do something and get this done on track. He goes down the inside. He gets the job done on the Mercedes. He's now up into P2. Frosty now is going to be under pressure from Driver. He's absolutely weaving. That's 2 dangerous moves down the straight. You cannot do that, I'm afraid, Frosty. He might get in trouble for that. But now on the run down towards, he's driving quite dangerously here as Driver's going to have a look on the inside as Frosty cuts across. He has the penalties. Driver makes contact. This is some very defensive driving from the Williams as Driver has a go on the inside as they're still battling. This is going to be a battle all the way down to the final chicane, and Bladey has gotten back past. So Bladey, whatever happens here at this final chicane could help him win this race. Let's find out. Driver's going to have a look at Bloncham on this contact. The 2-spin, and it's big damage there. Evil Blade will say thank you. It's controversy between Frosty and Driver, but Evil Blade picks up the pieces here in Spa, and he wins the Belgian Grand Prix. What an absolutely unbelievable finish as X-Knights, believe it or not, somehow gets a podium from this. What a finale to this race. Absolute drama at the end, and it's Evil Blade who takes the win. Wow. I am absolutely speechless, Combo.
Take a bow, Evil Blade. What a finish in the end. What action. That was just incredible. This is better than actual Formula One, let me tell you, because that was insane.
Yeah, absolute brilliant finish. It looks like at the end of that race, there was absolute carnage between them. Driver so desperate to try get the move done, and on Frosty, and it looks like both of them, they were just racing each other so hard on that last lap, and in the end, it is both of them who come off worse. There's absolute drama. We're going to see a lot of tickets there from the end of that race, but for the likes of Eva Blade and Edge and X-Knights, it is a brilliant, brilliant finish for those three. Wow.
Yeah. That was just, honestly, that was just unbelievable. GG's, great race to everyone on that last lap, bringing every single moment you would want to see, or nearly every single moment you would want to see on the last lap. Those crashes, well, that's sadly some of the price that you have to pay when racing that close. But well done to everyone. What a race.
Yeah.
What a race.
Yeah, that is quite interesting. That was unbelievable, that's for sure. I'm just gonna have to quickly yeah, so we'll get these guys in the VC. There's a lot of stuff we gotta do here just before tier 3, so we'll get these interviews done, but at the same time I'm also gonna be trying to do a lot of these things at once. So Evil Blade, Edge, X-Knights will be our podium. I'll just quickly get the results for Goffy. There we go, perfect. But yeah, brilliant finish. We see the top 10 change a lot, and it's, in the end, some massive positions gained, and this will be our grid, as we'll have a Sauber on pole for the race, and also a Mercedes second. We'll get this sorted. I'll need to go back on the stream after and get the grid to unique. So we'll get our... We need... Who else did we need? We need Evil Blade. We need Evil Blade to join. So while we're doing this, I'll kick us off with X-Knights. So, yeah. X-Knights, wow, absolute crazy finish there. You were able to pick up the pieces at the end. You weren't really in the fight for the podium this race, and you managed to get the job done. Talk us through your race.
So I was just typically hanging around P12 throughout the most race. I'm expected to be around P12, I guess. But when safety car came out, I was like, okay, I'm going to box for fresh softs. And apparently the safety car went in one lap. After one lap, then it seemed to kick off all at the end. And I just was just dodging everybody. That's all. I'm just make sure that I don't get a penalty, and I just dodge everybody. That's all.
Yeah, it was an absolute crazy finish, and you were able to pick up the pieces by being clean under that safety car restart, and it was absolute drama, and you were able to come home with a podium as a reserve driver too. I'm sure Left 4 Dead, the TP, will be very happy with that. But yeah, I think that's a message as well to TPs if they need a driver. I think you'll be in the contention for a seat if they really need it.
Thanks.
But yeah, congratulations on the podium, mate, on your debut. And Combo, we'll move on. You can interview Edge for P2.
Alright then. Edge, what a race. You've been up in that top 3 the entire race. In the end, P2 just missed out on that top step. How did you feel?
That last lap safety car was, I'm going to say last lap safety car because it couldn't come out after that lap, but that was a very interesting call from the stewards to bring out that safety car. I reckon had that not have come out, I could have possibly won that, but you know, it's how the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. But P2 puts tier 3 on the front row on the outside. It's kind of what I was saying to my TP as well, was it's probably not a bad idea to start on the outside because you avoid all the chaos.
Yeah. Be very honest, that last lap was chaotic. No matter how you looked at it, if you were the driver, if you were the commentator, if you were the team principal, any way you looked at it. But yeah, honestly, you kind of did. You had a very good strategy, and in the end, even with that last lap safety car, it paid off. Congrats on P2. Maxi, would you like to say anything, Edge?
Yeah. No. Oh, very happy because his teammate essentially, but gets some points for Mercedes. So well